Hello and welcome back to another episode of SlackerCraft. Alright, so what we're going to do in this episode is we are going to work on an experience farm. Now, what's going to be different about this farm is this is not going to be built off of a skeleton spawner or zombies or spiders or anything like that. We are going to build one using furnaces. And so the plan is we are going to have a furnace array, and we are going to fuel the furnaces with bamboo, and we are going to smelt cactus with those furnaces. And so what we're going to do is we are going to build that off behind where I'm standing, and that's going to be a part of one of the first things we're going to build in our base. All right. So, just as a reminder here, this is our base area here. So we have our little beginner base that's south of us in a little hole in the mountain. And so this is going to be the location of our main base. And so you can see I already have some stuff flattened out. And the central area is going to be kind of where we contain our bed and everything. And then in these spaces here, this is going to be kind of the storage area. And so the entrance will be here. And then what I want is I want to build a nice little furnace array here that's going to smelt cactus and store experience, so that when we take the cactus dye out, we can repair our items. All right. And so what we'll do is we're going to build the furnace array first, and then we're going to kind of take a look at that and decide where on that do we want to build off the cactus and the bamboo farms for the rest of that. So that is going to be the plan. So let me put my gear back on. And so let's go ahead and get started. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to have 14 furnaces. So I'm going to turn chunk borders on. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the furnaces and the redstone lamps. We're going to use lamps to kind of let us know when we basically have stored up enough experience, and they're going to kind of line up here, and we're going to build everything back in this area so that's all in one chunk. All right, so we don't have to worry about any of that. All right, so we need to clear out a little bit of space here. That way we can get our redstone lamps down and our chests and start building this furnace. Now, if you've built smelters before, this isn't going to be anything that's vastly different than what you would have seen before. But what we're going to do is we're going to kind of structure this in such a way that we can store experience, but we can kind of control how much there is. So what we're going to do is we're going to put ourselves a nice little row of lamps here. All right. So the idea is if a lamp is off, then we're not ready to collect experience from it. But once a lamp turns on, that furnace has stored enough experience to be able to repair an item. All right, we're going to aim for basically pickaxes. When we repair anything like a diamond axe, because it has less, well, no, the axe is the same durability. Shovel, so all of these things have like the same durability, so they'll all repair about the same amount. All right. So let's see here. We need to have our lamps there. And then behind the lamp is going to be a single chest. I'm short 3 chests. We'll have to go grab some wood real quick. Hopefully I have some over there. We'll just steal some there. Okay. So what we're going to do is we'll do single chests. And so the idea is to control how much experience is stored in the furnace, we are going to basically let a chest fill up, and it's not going to empty out. And once that chest gets full, we're going to be able to get a redstone signal from our system to light up the redstone lamp that basically going to say, hey, you are ready to collect that experience. All right, so I need to clear out underneath the chests. I'm going to leave the blocks underneath the redstone lamp here because they will be powered, and that's how we will power the lamps. If we powered into the lamps directly, that lamp would actually power the one next to it, and that would cause some issues. So let's go ahead and clear out these few blocks here. That way we can get our redstone set up. Okay. And I just need one more chest. Let's go ahead and steal a chest from over here. Hopefully I have one just floating around. Yep, we can steal a chest from there. Alright. So where do we need it? Right here. Okay. So we got our chest in place. Now, what we're going to do is in each of these chests, we are going to have a hopper coming straight down. Usually you would have the chest sit in front of the hopper and have the hopper come in that direction when you're doing this with a little furnace. But getting the redstone lined up with the lamps is actually much easier if I do this. So that's why this is kind of built into the floor like this. So we can still access the chest easily to clear out the items after we collect our experience. And then our furnaces are going to be right here and a nice easy spot to reach for when we want to collect the experience. Alright, and so then we need our hoppers inside. So this is going to be how the cactus will get into the hoppers, into the furnaces in order to be smelted. And then we need a row of hoppers in the back. This is how the bamboo is going to get into the furnaces to provide our power source. Okay. And so I think I'm going to need to clear out some more space here. That way we can start building this. So what we're going to do is we are actually going to put comparators on the back of these hoppers here. So the idea is once the chest is full, these hoppers will then fill up. And once a hopper gets some items in it, we're going to bring the redstone signal down and back and over to the lamp. And so that's going to be how we're going to control how much experience and how much storage we get into these different items. These different chests. All right. So let's see here. In front of each of these, I need a slab on each of those because that's going to be what our comparators are going to sit on. And I think I'm going to be I'm going to have to put these back in again. It's going to be much easier with these not in here to be able to get my comparators facing the correct direction. So there we go. So comparators. Yep. Okay, come on. There we go. I really wish you could just put these down and do, I'll press a button to turn them, because trying to get your comparators, your repeaters, your observers, your dispensers, all those different things pointed the right direction can be a pain sometimes if you need to be in an unusual position to get there. Okay, so we got all of the comparators. And you know what, let's just clear all this out. Just to give ourselves some space. We'll come back and fill this in for what we don't need. Okay, come on. Alright. So, now what we want to do is we're going to want to make sure that we don't have any bleed from one into the next. So what's going to happen is we are going to alternate the signals here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a block behind every other one of these comparators, so that the comparators... I got one in the wrong direction. Let's fix you. I'm glad I noticed that now. There we go. Alright, so every other one, that way whenever we put down redstone, we will not be transferring our signal side to side. That way we are not messing up our redstone lamps. Alright, let's go ahead and sleep. The unfortunate thing about deserts is the husks that spawn are not taken out by sun, so I always like to try to be a little bit careful with mobs. Okay, now here These are going to get slabs. And then I think on each of those we're going to put our repeater. That's going to extend out. And then on each of those we will put a block. And so what we have done is we basically have these blocks will now be powered whenever there are items inside of the hopper. Alright, so once we get it built up, I'll throw some items in the hopper so you can see how the lights come into play. Alright, so now what we need to do is the redstone signal needs to come down. And so here we need to come down and we're going to put some redstone on that. It's not going to let me. Oh, because I'm underneath the slab and not the block. There we go. All right. So the idea is when this block is powered, it's going to then power this redstone. And then for this one, I feel like I'm off of space. For this one, this one is the, how do I want to do this? So repeater. Red, and that will power that block. Then the next one over will get redstone. And then this one, I believe, is repeater. Alright, so the idea is any of the redstone in this pathway is not directly next to redstone in this path. This redstone here. So these two redstone dusts will not bleed into each other. Okay. Now when 116 comes into play, I have a feeling that's going to mess with this. We will find out when that happens. So let's see here. I want red repeater. So I'm just going to kind of go through and put these in. So these are going to be every other. And then the redstone with the repeaters. And then I need the blocks on each of these with redstone. And then I need the blocks with redstone here. Alright. Hopefully I did this quick. It was much easier when I only had two built next to each other, just to make sure that I got everything situated right. So now comes the big test here. We will throw a stack of things in here, and there we go. So the redstone lamp is lit, and once that hopper comes empty, it will turn off. And let me put some in here. There we go. It lights this one up, doesn't light up the ones next to it, and there we go. So this is going to be how we're going to store the experience. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is this light's going to turn on once this hopper gets backed up. This is just going to be a little bit of trial and error. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of fill up 6 of these slots in each of these chests. So that it doesn't get completely full of green dye. And that way it's basically going to fill this up, and then it's going to fill up some of the hopper. Now, I'm hoping 6 slots not being able to be filled is going to be the right amount. But if it's too little, then we can remove a few of these and allow it to build up more. If it looks like it's too much, maybe we can attach fill in a couple more slots. That way, we can actually access the experience that's stored up quicker. All right. Now, one of the things is, let's see, which one is that? So, well, we'll just come back and check. This furnace array we are building is only going to be for experience. All right. And so that's why we're storing this stuff this way, because I'm going to have a separate furnace system that's going to basically smelt a lot of items, but I want that to kind of empty out the stuff that's going to be smelted into our storage system and our sorting system that we are going to build at some point in time. All right. I usually build small sorting systems for a few different things, like, so for example, wool. Usually I will have my wool kind of all get collected together and then get separated. Sometimes I build it for my bulk blocks, but what I want to try to do this time playing is actually have a large single storage area with a single sorting system put in place. That way, when I come back from doing anything, I can just dump everything into one system, and it will sort everything and put it where it needs to go, instead of trying to sort of half manually sort everything that is coming into play. Okay. All right, so there we go. So we have our system essentially set up. Let me hide those blocks again. All right. So what we need to do now is we need to put back in our hoppers that load the furnaces with our fuel. And then what we need to do is we need to figure out where do we want to put these farms. Okay. I don't know if I want to go wide with them or tall. I don't even know. But I do know I want them both to come off the same direction. Okay. What we're going to do is, instead of using mine carts to kind of equally place everything in this, I actually want all of the items to come in from one side, and I essentially want this furnace taking everything, because I want this furnace to fill up with experience as fast as possible. So I'm okay with the rest of these being empty. Now, once it's full of experience and it can't smelt anymore, the fuel, the cactus, will then move on to the next furnace. And so what's going to happen is these lights will slowly light up from probably right to left, since that's already flattened over there. That way I can come in, pull my experience, and then that furnace will get filled up first, and then anything left over will then extend beyond all the ones that are full and then continue on down. Okay, that way I can get experience built up and stored pretty quick. If I don't do it this way, if I kind of have it evenly spread out, basically I will have every single furnace will become available at once. But then once I use one, that's the only one that's going to be built up, and then it will fill up. And then if I don't clear it out, I'm going to waste a lot of fuel and cactus. So that's going to be what we're going to do, is we're going to put a hopper line going from right to left, so that we intentionally focus on this first furnace, then the second one, the third one, and so on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a few stopper blocks up here. That way we can put down this top array of hoppers pointing this direction. That way, as the items come in, this hopper is going to pull them out first, and then once it can't pull out anymore, then it will move on to this one. It will go from this direction, from right to left. Then that next hopper will then pull them down. All right. All right, so here we go. And there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of put a block here and a block here, just as a reminder. That's going to be the entry to the system for our cactus and our bamboo. All right. So now comes the tough part, is deciding where do we want to build these farms. And so what I'm thinking is we didn't really take much space up in this chunk. So maybe what we could do is we can actually use, let's see, maybe this square, and this square. And then we'll do is have the farms bring the items down and then load in this direction. Is that what I'm going to do? All right, well, let's go make sure we take care of our sleeping first. And then we're going to go up on the hill and take a look. Because the question is, I really don't know how big I want these farms to be. Because I'm not sure how often we're going to have to repair our items. In the beginning, I think we're going to have to repair them a lot more, but um, it's going to be that little balance of how much experience we store up versus how much we actually use. All right, so let's see here. And let's pillar up a little bit. Let's take a look here. Plus, I'm not going to... let's see, how big of a cactus farm... Bamboo's going to grow quicker, but it needs to produce a lot more items because it takes a lot more to smelt the cactus. So what I'm thinking is going to be... let's see, cactus goes in the top. I think it might be easier if we basically use... well, we'll just split it in half. I think what we'll do is we'll build a cactus farm here. We'll go up a little. Well, do I want to do move items up? Yeah, we can move items up. What we'll do is we'll build a cactus farm here. We'll build a few layers and then have the cactus come down and fill in the furnaces. And then I think what we'll do is we will do the bamboo farm here. We'll do a few layers of a bamboo farm. We'll try flying machines. Usually don't do those. I think we'll give a... well, if we do a flying machine, we probably want a longer one. What do you think? Yeah. So I think what we'll do is we'll do a cactus here. We'll do bamboo here with a few layers with flying machines. And then what we'll do is we'll see what kind of balance we have between the two. That if we are producing one a lot more than the other, we can always add a couple layers onto it to be able to fill up and try to balance the cactus versus the bamboo that's coming in. And if we decide it's not enough, what we can then do is just add on to each a little bit more so that we can produce our experience a little bit quicker. So I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do cactus here. We'll do bamboo here. That way we can basically keep everything in these like 3 chunks. That way we really don't have to worry about a lot of loading coming in. And actually that cactus farm is going to need to be a little bit skinny because don't forget we're going to want storage here and here. Alright, so we'll have to make sure we do... wow, boy. How big, how high is going to be our storage sort? So I think what we'll do is we'll make sure that what we put here is not going to be a very large amount of storage. Do we want to do that? Oh, that's a good question. That's a problem with trying to build this before having the storage in place. Well, maybe what we'll do is... see, I really don't want to mess with sorting with the storage here and here. And I'm not sure how that's probably going to need at least half the chunk if we want to be able to sort that. That's not a very wide bit of a farm. So actually, I think what we'll do is we'll actually go back to these 3 chunks. I think that's what we're going to do is we'll basically take this chunk here, clean it out, do the cactus farm, take these 2, do the bamboo farm. I have a feeling the cactus farm is going to be taller than the bamboo, but if you know what, if we need to, we can have the cactus farm kind of layer over top of the bamboo farm. We'll see. All right. Yep. So I think that's going to be the plan. We're going to leave these 2 chunks alone. That way we don't mess with sorting and storage. And so what we're going to do is we are going to clear out these 3 chunks. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will come back once we got that cleared and then start working on the farm. All right, so we have completed a first layer of the cactus farm. As you can see, pretty plain cactus farm here. We got the water that's going to run down into this central water stream here with some ice. We got the cactus here, so when this cactus grows, it will be next to the block right there and will break off, and hopefully most of it will fall into the water, and then that will be carried down the stream to the furnaces. All right. Now I put two layers of stone here. The first one there is for the purposes of breaking the cactus. The second one was I noticed that some of the cactus was popping on top of the first one, and so it's the second layer is there to prevent that from happening. But also, what we could do is if we want to add another layer to this, that second layer of stones there can actually form the floor for the second layer of the cactus farm. So we could just build right on top of that, funnel everything down, it will all fall down into this central stream. We will come this way, and then we come over to here, and then we proceed to go up a bubble vader, a short one, and that will carry our cactus into the furnaces. So as you can see, we got a few cactus already stored up in that first furnace. So the idea is we got that first part built, and so we only had to go into this chunk here a little bit, and so whenever we do our storage here, we'll have to kind of figure out whether we want to keep it. Oh, we just saw a cactus go in. Whether we want to keep this here, or maybe if we want to kind of shuffle it over a little bit, but I don't think we're going to have to be able to do that, because what we need to do is we need to have the bamboo come into here. Oh, another cactus. All right, so as you can see, it's working pretty well. At some point in time, I will put a cover over this so we don't accidentally walk by and pick up the cactus ourselves, or we get random items in there that we do not want. But for now, we're just focusing on getting the system working. All right. So the next part is deciding to do a bamboo farm. And so at first I was like, well, I'm going to do a bamboo farm here and make use of flying machines. And so I thought about it and I realized, well, I haven't done a flying machine before, but one of the problems is you sort of need slime to do a bamboo farm. And well, we don't have a slime farm. So I'm not going to sit there and try to find a swamp and find some random slimes or spend some time trying to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to, another cactus, we're going to build a bamboo farm here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do mine carts. And so we're going to use pistons and observers because I have some of those in my storage over there. And so what we'll do is we will do a bamboo farm here. And then the minecart's going to come in, and then what we're going to do is, I think, either use a dispenser to spit it out into a water stream that comes over to here to drop off into a hopper, because I don't want to put hoppers all the way from over there to here. That's just a lot of hoppers. That's just a lot of iron. And I want to avoid having to use all of that. So I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll do the first one here. And then we will have a water stream above this one come over. And I might actually just move it up at first. And then move it over so it's pretty much at this height. And then attach it. And then what that will do is I'm thinking we might go this whole stretch here. If we want to, we could add a second layer on top of it, or we can make use of this little bit of a stretch here, because the bamboo farm is actually not going to be that deep. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you here. I am going to make some progress on that, and then we will be right back, and then we will have our bamboo farm in place. All right, we are back. I am back. I have built part of the bamboo farm. So as you can see here, we have a little water stream going to these furnaces that is going to carry the bamboo. And so here I have a simple, oh, I'm gonna have to cover that up. Maybe I'll slab that. Yeah, we'll see. All right, so here's the bamboo farm. So as you can see, it grows up, and it once it gets to a height of 3, the observer will see it, and then it will set the pistons off, knocking them down. And then I have a minecart going back and forth, back and forth. As you can see, there goes some bamboo now. That is going to pick up the bamboo. Uh-oh, creeper. No. Go away. We're definitely going to have to mob-proof the area here as we get some more work done. Alright. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, the minecart hopper will pick up the bamboo that will fall down. And then what I have is it runs over top of 3 hoppers, dumping off the bamboo. So I'm hoping the amount of bamboo does not come in faster than what can be put into the 3 hoppers. So that's going to be something I'm going to have to keep an eye on to make sure that minecart is not getting built up with bamboo. And then I have each of those hoppers goes into a chest, and those chests come down into these dispensers. Now the way I have it set up is, and whenever a piece of bamboo comes into this dispenser, the comparator will send a signal back to it, and then it will dispense that item. Alright, one of the problems with this type of setup, oh, we're going to see some bamboo coming in shortly. There we go. There we go. So one of the problems is if this dispenser gets overloaded with too many items, this circuit will not work. So I have to keep an eye on that. Now, one thing you'll notice is I only have these 2 set up. What happens is this signal will come into this block, and that block will actually power the middle one. And then this signal will come into this block and power the middle one. So the middle one, if it gets any items in, are actually going to be dispensed by either side. And so I think the fact that either side will be pulling them out, and then the minecart should put into these 2 hoppers before that one. I'm not too worried about that being an issue. So, but as always, we will keep an eye on it. I need to remove, I think I can remove these. No, I can't. Oh no. Where's my glass? I shouldn't have removed those. Oh, I hope that didn't run down and mess up the redstone. That's the only bad thing, messing around with water and redstone. And so I thought I didn't need those, or I thought I had water above. I'm gonna have to check my... Oh yeah, we messed it all up. Alright, well, let's just go ahead and finish this off. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. There we go. That looks much better. We will have to check our hoppers and our furnace just to make sure nothing got into that stream. That looks cleaner. So now we got to redo this. Alright. So let's see here. We had a comparator. And comparator. Facing the wrong way. There we go. And then we had what? Redstone, redstone. Repeater, repeater. There we go. Alright, so now I'm going to have to clear out the bamboo because as you can see, if it has items built up, it does not actually dispense them. So, but all I have to do is throw them in there. And the speed at which the hopper puts them in will not overload the system. Any in there? Okay, there we go. Now we're better. Alright, so I got a little bubble vader. I have 3 just in case it would come in too fast. Hopefully that will not be a problem. Maybe as I build up other layers, they'll be able to come into the stream above. I won't have to mess with the dispensers. Alright, so there we go. We see some bamboo going. So now Let's go over here and check to make sure we didn't have any loose random items get into the system, like a torch. Last thing I want is like a torch to fill in. Alright, and so as you can see, there we go, it's starting to smelt. We got some cactus already built up from the cactus farm being done first, and we've already smelted 28 green dye. I did have a stack of bamboo from my other farm that I threw into the system, so there's already been a stack of bamboo that has gone through the system, but that's actually not very much. Alright. Oh, I am hoping the bamboo farm, did that smell enough to get in more? 29? Yes. So I have a feeling right now the bamboo may not be producing fast enough. But we'll keep an eye on that because we can always add a little bit more to this farm. I'm thinking I'll probably would just go do the same thing above, and then have hoppers come down into these chests here from above. So that won't be too bad. I'll just have to make sure I don't break my water and flood my system again. See, there we go. We got some more bamboo. Yep. Alright, so I feel like I got an extra piece of glass on this side. Like, these corners do not need to be there, but alright. Let's do it. There we go. Okay, that's much better. Alright, so there we go. So now we have our bamboo farm and our cactus farm set up. We'll keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't break. We got some going there, and once this gets backed up, we will have the light come on. We'll know we can come get an experience to fully repair one piece of equipment. And so if need be, I can always add a second layer of cactus here. And then I can always, when I stack that up, I'll probably do another layer of bamboo on top of this. So we can expand this that way as we use up more of our gear, we can repair it. All right. So at least I think that those water streams aren't too high. So if I'm going to do storage with item filters, what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to have these areas on either side be the bulk storage. Because what I want to do is have the storage here and have the filtering be in behind it. But when I get to the bulk storage here, what's going to happen is the filtering is going to take place up above. So the items will be moved up. Then the filtering will come here and it will filter down into a stack of chests. And what that will do is that will put that filtering system actually about this high, which means it will actually go above our water streams here. And so the fact that these are here will not get in the way. And so I can do some more bulk storage here. And then we can come back down and do lower level storage here and have the item filters built into the lower level. And so I'm thinking that's going to be the plan. Between now and the next episode, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start trying to identify what kind of blocks we're going to be gathering and try to figure out what do I want to have in bulk storage, what items am I going to be collecting a lot of versus what ones am I going to have parts of, and then how do I want to sort stuff like redstone. Usually what I do is I will have like a redstone ore in a box, and then I will have like the rails in a box with and then the mine carts, and then like the torches and comparators and repeaters in a single chest, double chest. But your standard item filtration doesn't do that. You kind of sort one item at a time, and I don't think I really want to have repeaters and comparators and observers and dispensers and droppers all in separate chests. That would just be a pain to grab items because I don't think I'm ever going to need a full double chest worth of repeaters. I mean, I'm pretty sure between all the farms we build, we will use that many, but I don't think I will need to have a storage amount of that many at one time. So that's going to be one of those considerations is what items do we want to have in separate chests, which items are going to take up multiple chests, and what items are really going to be able to be stored together with other items. And that's going to kind of determine how we're going to filter these items. And then the other thing I want to do is I kind of want this area here in the middle to kind of be the area where we do most of our work as far as working with items, uh, doing some smelting items, um, doing our enchanting, so that our character we're essentially in this spot a lot, which means all of the space that we have reserved will all be loaded, or most of it. Okay, that way, I don't want to have like my enchanting all the way in a corner over here, my smelting in a corner over there. So that way, when I'm over in this corner, this area of the base over yonder will not be loaded. And so what I want to do is I want to try to keep stuff loaded as much as possible. That way, I don't have to build a mega farm to have to travel to the AFK and then nothing else is going. And so in that case, I can actually build farms a little bit smaller if I know they're going to be consistently running all the time. And so that's going to be one of the challenges is kind of deciding where the farms go. Which ones are we going to allow to be kind of like on the outskirts of our mega base that we're going to be building? That way, if we're on one edge, we're okay with that stuff not being loaded on the other edge. All right. So that is going to be the plan. So between now and next time, I will be keeping an eye on this to see if we need to expand it. And then what I will be doing is starting to kind of organize this space here, because once I have it organized, we can actually start to build a structure here so that we don't have our base as a random bed under the sun. We want to be able to have this inside an area. And then the other thing is I am actually going to build a mob farm, a passive mob farm, where we don't have to kill anything. We'll just kill things automatically. And we are actually going to build it above us here. And so it's going to be a standard farm with platforms and water that comes out. And what we're going to do is it's going to get our skeletons, our spiders, our creepers, and zombies. Um, and it's going to be a general mob farm. We're not going to restrict it. The idea is I am okay with the zombies because the rotted flesh is going to be something we'll trade into clerics for emeralds. The skeletons are going to give us bone meal, and bone meal is going to be useful as far as white dye, bone blocks, and other farms like flower farms and such. The spiders will give us string, and then the creepers, of course, will give us gunpowder, so that at some point in time we can start getting some TNT, and then we will actually venture into the end and try to get an elytra and some shulker boxes. Things will be so much nicer once we get an elytra. It's so awkward playing without one. It makes building a lot harder. That way, when you fall, you're constantly scaffolding back up. Um, and so, there we go. We're actually making some progress there. All right. And so, I think that is going to be our progress for this episode. Just getting our little experience furnace farm built up. We'll have another furnace smelter set up at some point. Right now, I got a small one that is chugging through some glass. Um, Pretty much, yeah, we're just about out of sand with lava buckets. Um, but we will get another smelter set up so we can start smelting some other items. All right, so that is going to be it. So hopefully you enjoyed the video and have a good day. see if I can get the right view. Yeah, there we go. Oops, take the items off so you can see my ugly skin. Yay! Have a good day. Feel free to watch again. Don't forget to like and subscribe in case you like these videos. Thank you.